Okay, I'm back with a second episode of my chronicles of my time working at Banister Ford. And again, I just want to run a few things by you guys. You know, my goal here obviously is to expose them. I hate that company. I hate a lot of the individuals that actually work there. But my goal is to, if I could get some support where people just stop going there, maybe at some point they might get the message. They might change. I don't know. But there's definitely a lot of corruption there. But for your protection, this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video, for your protection. Because if you take your vehicle in there for service, you don't know what's going to happen. Like I said in the other video, somebody took their vehicle in for service. Service advisor took that customer's vehicle home, or just took it and crashed it, totaled it, and didn't, and then went on a run. Yeah, he went on a run. I don't know if they ever found him or not, but he went on a run. Again, they had a technician working in there who had a drug problem. He was shooting heroin up. I saw him nodding out, folded over, nodded out, but I didn't rat on him and tell on him. I figured the man had enough problems, and I didn't want to contribute to his problems. But again, this is somebody that they hired to work on your vehicle. Your vehicle. Now, do you actually trust someone high working on your vehicle? I saw a technician working on the car, had the car lifted up in the air. He's up there turning his, screws and all that. Had a joint in his mouth, smoking weed. Do you want that working on your vehicle? Now, let's switch this over to the parts department, which is where I worked at. I'm going to try to make it as short but as direct as I possibly can. They had one parts manager, and then that was all the management there. But they had a Puerto Rican girl in there who today's video is going to be the focus today. She literally thinks she's management, but management doesn't include her in any of the management business. She's not management, but she's also the one who has her hand up the manager's back as a puppet. She's pulling the strings, and the manager goes along with it. So, let's talk about the Puerto Rican girl. I refer to her now as a Puerto Rican cockroach, because that's what the fuck she is. She's very volatile. You can go into the parts department if she's working up on the front counter. You go to the parts department, you try to get a part. You ask for a part. She's got an attitude. She's, fuck. That's her. She does that. And if you look on Google, you'll see many complaints, various, but you'll see quite a few about the female working in the parts department. How she's keeping that job, I'll never know. Maybe, oh, I know, manager covering for her. The manager covers for her. That's the only way. But there was an assistant manager that was there. She left. She went to a much better job. And from the word I'm getting, she's very happy and successful there. She was going to fire the Puerto Rican cockroach. Because there was a situation where one of the guys that was working in the back counter, he handles all the parts and orders for the technicians. He got an offer to go to a dealership in Waldorf, but he gave these clowns first dibs. He's like, hey, I want to stay here. I like here. I want to stay here. No, we're not going to give you no more money. So he left. They offered him probably another $30,000 over what he was already getting. Maybe even more, who knows? But he left. Now, what that did was sent in a domino effect. So there was a new guy that came in, and he was working up front with me. And when that guy in the back quit, that opened up a gate to go in the back. So that assistant manager said, asked him, did he want to go in the back? He said, let me think about it. The manager told him up front, she said, if you stay up here, she can't go in the back because none of the technicians want to work with her. None of the technicians want to work with her or deal with her because of her attitude. Then she said, well, if you decide to stay up here, then she's got to go. She's going out the door. Well, I was pulling for it. I wanted that cockroach gone, to be honest. But he explained to the manager, he said, look, I'm just getting here. I'm getting comfortable. I'm learning the system here. So it wouldn't make sense to put me in the back and then I have to learn that system all over. He said, why don't you just leave me up front? And he talked her into it. And he talked her into it, and she let her go into the back. So she's in the back. Now, to further exacerbate my point, why I want you to stay away from that dealership, from getting your vehicle serviced, or even going there to buy parts, or even buying a car. Cars are way overpriced over there, in my opinion. But just, you're spending your money. You don't want to be treated with less than the respect you are deserved. It's your money. You know, it's your money. And I witnessed this several times during my time. I was there like 8 months, I think. And I witnessed this several times. Various service advisors didn't like her, didn't want to work with her. They would literally come up front and talk to me, or it was another guy that was there before the new guy, talk to him, and we together would try to figure out a way to solve their problem so they wouldn't have to go and deal with her. Before I left, there were some new faces came. The new faces did not want to deal with her. Them new people hadn't been there. They've been there less than 30 days at this point. One of them told me, oh, I don't want to go back there and deal with that girl in the back. That's what she told me. So I helped her as much as I could up front on the counter to help resolve an issue that she was trying to resolve. Another technician, brand new, can't stand her. She could not stand the Puerto Rican cockroach. She said out her mouth, I don't want to go back there. I'll figure it out. That's how it is. People don't want to deal with her. But yet the manager takes the cockroach's word and goes and runs with it. I watched a man. I don't know where he's from. I'm going to assume from the Egyptian region of the planet. The man came in. He was very respectful. And if you know anything about men from that region, they're kind of tough on their women. They are. They're a little bit tough. You know, it's the woman doesn't have much of a say-so when they're dealing with men. A lot of men from that custom. At least that's what I've seen. My opinion is what I've seen. But in this way, man from that region, I'm gonna use the word Egyptian, but he may not have even been Egyptian. But that's kind of how I think the man is there. Man comes in. I don't remember exactly what part he wanted, but he came from a reputable service shop, and he was very nice. He asked very eloquently. He even had the VIN number ready, so he already knew the deal. The man explained, first he gave her the VIN number, then he explained what he was looking for. She got an attitude. She got the breathing all loud and talking about, fuck. You know, she's typing in the computer, fuck. And the man said out his mouth, you know, with his accent, he said, hey, you know, chill out. Give me respect. He was, you know, he told her, do your job. He said, do your job. I didn't come here for this. I'm not presenting any problems to you. What is your problem? I mean, the man read her the riot act. Read her the riot act. Chewed her up. And I sat there. I enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoyed every minute of it. Then I believe she got in her feelings and she walked off, went in the back. And then I wound up helping the man. He calmed down, found what he needed, got his parts, ordered them. He was on his way. He was gone. Yeah. He was gone. Now, I don't think I've ever seen that man come back since then. He probably has gotten to a point where, you know, they're not getting my money. So, I'm sure he hadn't. I'd never seen him come back. And I worked at the front counter and also delivered the parts. She was just, how can I put it? The average individual, if they had to deal with that and they catch that individual on the wrong day, and bust her grill all up. They would bust her grill all up. She's not from the area, so she's from Boston, but she thinks whatever that bullshit is that is her and her culture, she thinks she can do it here. She claims she's gotten some people fired, and she was very proud of it. So with a work environment like that, you know it's toxic, and the manager doesn't do anything about it. The parts manager doesn't do anything about it. But she tried that bullshit with that half-ass general manager that they got now. That dude's another subject. He's a piece of work. He doesn't deserve that position either. I don't think he even has a clue what the fuck he's doing. But again, that's me. But there's some complaints on him about. There's some complaints about him on that Google page as well. You can Google Banister Ford and you go through and you look up the thing where people talk. You know, they either leave a good review or a bad review. But it's in the reviews, and you just go through the reviews. You'll see that what I'm saying coincides with some other customers' experiences. But back to the cockroach, she got indignant with the general manager's assistant, I believe he's assistant. I'm just saying because he works closer with this guy. And the man called, was looking for a package that was delivered by FedEx. And she was just mean and nasty to him. So the man was like, he didn't know what to do. So he told the general manager, it's like, hey, basically, am I doing something wrong? What did I do wrong here? He trying to figure out what he did to spark her to be so fucking nasty to him and disrespectful to him. So the general manager decided to, look into it because they were looking for whatever this package was. And it was signed for by her. She get the general manager some bullshit, and she was like, this is supposed to be your boss. He's looking for a package that you signed for, cockroach. And you get on there all hyper, talking about, I ain't got time for this, I ain't this, that, and the third. Just giving your boss your ass to kiss. Yes, she gave him her ass to kiss. And he put his foot down, and I have to say, rightfully so. Because she had one write-up on her prior to that. And then here she does this bullshit. And the general manager told the manager, write her up. This is her second one, write her up. She was quite insubordinate, very disrespectful, and totally unprofessional. Ain't nothing professional about this broad anyway. And then the manager told her something about, you're gonna have to sign the write up or whatever. And she was like, I ain't signing nothing. I F him. I ain't signing nothing. And then if she doesn't sign it, they have all rights to terminate her. But she's, from what I understand, she's still there. So she must have signed it. But again, if she tells the manager she's not going to sign the write-up, who that manager wrote up at the behest of the general manager, and she says she's not going to sign it, that's when the manager should have fired her right there. But no, she's busy. The manager is busy over there covering up for her. Covering up for her. No matter, no matter what, that manager covers up for her. So you got them two going, looking out for each other and so forth. Like I said, she had the manager to buy an Apple AirTag and put it in the truck I was using to track me. Again, I was pissed at first because I would imagine if somebody's doing that and we're supposed to be in a workplace environment, you don't go around trying to set employees up. But there was nothing to set up for me because I never took that truck anywhere I wasn't supposed to be or doing anything outside of deliveries unless I had to use the bathroom while I'm on the road. And it was a pickup truck, a Ford F-150. So, if I had to go to the bathroom, I had to go to the bathroom. But that's about it. I might stop at a store, or if I'm in the area of somebody's house on my way to the delivery, I might stop there, call them, see if they there. Saying I use the bathroom. They're like, yeah, come on, I use the bathroom. And I get out and I go make my deliveries. So you never had a problem with me doing my job. If I was delivering, you didn't have a problem with me doing the job because I ain't no 20-year-old. I'm closer to 60 than I am 20. I'm closer to 60 than I am 30. I'm closer to 60 than I am 40. I'm closer to 60 than I am 50. So I don't got time for these games. And what they play in that place is a lot of in-house political games. It's toxic. They're constantly backstabbing. Well, not they, but that manager and that cockroach constantly backstabbing other people, throwing people under the bus. And for instance, here's a situation that I had, but I didn't bring it up. I didn't make an argument. Didn't say nothing because you have to pick and choose your battles. Now, granted, I was working there, and I would if I see that there was help needed when I was supposed to be getting off, I would stay 15, 20, 30 minutes to help the guy that's up there having to deal with it. I would help him out so we can get this mad rush down, because people in our community, they know you close at 5. They want to come through the door at 4:50, and it'd be droves of them, But anyway, I would occasionally help this guy to help him get through that mad rush. So I would get off. I was supposed to get off at 4. Sometimes I might not get off to 4:30 because I stayed either pulling orders or taking orders or helping him with his orders. But either way, it was me and him knocking that out. And so it wound up being about 4 or 5 hours over at the end of that week. The manager went into the system and took all those hours away. Those extra hours away. But she never once came and asked, what was I doing? Why did I stay? No, just took it off. So what I wind up doing is, I hated to do that to him because that was my man, my partner. We made a great team inside and out. It's a lot of stuff that manager didn't know, that me and him worked so well as a team that we got stuff accomplished, and they never even knew about. They never knew about pretty much none of the struggles and challenges. That we had to face while working there because they were inadequate. I mean, parts counter. They almost never had change. A customer could come in with a $20 bill. He might need $15 back, 20. We never had change to give him. Never had change to give him. But me and him would do things to make everything work out. They never knew that. And then I understand that since I left, I think they wound up being a week without a driver or something like that. Then I understand now they got one of the guys that was a porter on the service side, and they got him over there driving. And that guy's a really good guy, nice. We spoke every time we saw each other. Wonderful. And he knows the toxicity that's in there. And you know what that dude would do when they would be toxic and be shady towards him and all that? He just, whatever. And he just did his job. And he got off, I think he got off at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, I would see him getting in his ride, heading out of there. He just he came in, did his time, and left. Which is something I shouldn't have been so helpful. But because the dude that came in he's such a great, good dude, a great talent in that industry, they're going to fuck around and lose that one. Trust me. They're going to fuck around and lose that one. Even the cockroach would give him hell when he first got there. This man knows 10 times more than she does. He's been in the industry like 17 years. He knows 10 times more than she does. But she was getting an attitude with him. Honestly, it appeared to me she was disrespectful to him in the early stages because he didn't ask her for help or how to, he may have asked for help and how to maneuver in the system because it's a new system, crappy ass Techion system. Anyway, he would ask her how to maneuver around, and once he figured out how to maneuver around, he didn't bother with her. No, he didn't ask her no more. But when he was there asking her, she was treating him like shit. You got a guy with that much talent. And I know this for a fact. They're not paying that man what he's worth. They're not paying him what he's worth. So let's see how that plays out. Because he's a very smart guy. Very smart guy. And when it comes to parts, man, this dude does miracles. But they don't deserve him. They don't deserve him. He's the bright light in a dark alley. They don't deserve him. So we'll see how that plays out. You know, it's crazy because the cockroach, she comes in every morning. She's mad. She comes in mad. Breathing and cussing and this, that, and the third. And she always act like everything has to be done like yesterday. And because I didn't move like she wanted me to move, I guess that fucked her up. She didn't like it. But shit, I didn't give two fucks. Two fucks I don't give. A fuck and the fuck. I didn't give either one. I kept doing what I was supposed to do and did what I did. But this motherfucker will come to work every day angry with an attitude, running her fucking evil ass mouth. And I know it all stems from her personal life. Personal life is fucked up. I don't know if she's still, her and this dude still together, but he used to be a technician in there. From my understanding, this dude done had plenty of kids on her while they were in a relationship. From my understanding, homeboy hardly ever went over her house. He always went wherever he went to lay his head down. So she technically might have been the side piece. I don't know, but she would come in every day mad. But if he gave her any attention, she sparked right up. How stupid do you have to be? But again, that's her personal life. That's her. That's how she chooses to live. That's how she chooses to live. I'm telling you, if the technicians there didn't want to be bothered with her, the new people came in, they weren't there a hot second, and they didn't like her, and they didn't want to be bothered with her, can't be everybody. It can't be everybody. It just cannot be. Maybe it's that Puerto Rican cockroach. Well, I'm going to end this one on this one here. But in summary, guys, look. Don't waste your time going to Banister Ford for sales, service, or parts. Don't waste your time. Because, especially on the parts, 90% of the time, I had to go to another dealership or another warehouse to pick the parts up that they sold you, right? Now, check this. They bought it from another either distributor or another Ford dealer, right? They bought the parts there. You know, whoever they bought it from sold it to them with their profit margin on it. Now they're selling it to you with their profit margin on it. As opposed to having something in there that sees how often a part moves and ordering it to sit it on the shelf. Because if you see this part has moved, let's say in 30 days, a part has moved 15 times. Why wouldn't you buy at least one of them to have on your shelf? So every time one goes out, the system should regenerate another order from Ford to come in. So if somebody orders it, guess what? They're not paying the markup from the other place and your markup. That's one of the reasons that going to dealers to buy parts is expensive. It's a roll of the dice. Either if they got it in stock and it came from Ford, then it might be a decent price, decent market price. But if they had to go get it from another source, then the other source charged them a profit so they can make a profit. And now you're paying that profit plus a profit on top of when you get it from Banister. Yes. So please, y'all know I don't never do stuff like this, but I hate these people so motherfucking much that I'm putting stuff out there. One, because yeah, I can't stand them. And two, y'all in this neighborhood, y'all in this community, y'all come through here some kind of way. If you got a Ford or a Lincoln or a Mercury, y'all come through here some kind of way. So share this, spread the word, share this, tell your folks they ain't to be messed with. Man, you can, it might be a little more inconvenient to go to a Lanham Ford or a Waldorf Ford or even the Upper Marlboro Ford. It might be a little bit inconvenient, but guess what? You're going to be respected at those places. I've gone to all of them to pick up parts to deliver to Banister's customers. Yes. How is it that Lanham, Waldorf, Upper Marlboro has the parts that you need, but they're not there at Banister? They got to send the parts guy, the driver, down to one of those dealerships to pick it up, to get it back to you, to sell it to you at a much higher price. Yes, that's what they do. That is what they do. And it might be common practice. It might be. But I'm just saying to you guys, when that place was Sheehy, and I talked to a lot of the old school mechanics that used to deal with them when they were Sheehy. Man, they loved them. They loved that place. But they said as soon as it got bought by Banister, it didn't take long for it to turn to a piece of shit. That's what one of the guys told me, who used to, he had his own shop up in College Park, and he used to order from Sheehy for his repair parts for Ford or Lincoln Mercury. And he said when it was Sheehy, it was great. They had no problems. Everything, it ran like a business supposed to run. Prices were fair and decent, the whole nine. And they had people there that knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. So I'm just saying, it ain't that way now. It ain't that way now. Trust me, 8 months in, it ain't that way now. And while I was working, I did things in a logical, efficient manner, which means I got things done effectively so I didn't have to deal with it twice. Either I wouldn't have to deal with it twice, or none of the other coworkers would have to deal with it twice, because it was fixed and resolved the first time out. That cockroach, she be selling the wrong parts and get mad when the customer bring it back and say it don't fit or it don't work. She would get angry about it. She'd go, fuck, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do for him. I don't know what I can do for him. Motherfucker, find the right part. They even showed the part that comes off the vehicle. You sold them the part that was totally opposite of that. But anyway, I'm not going to hold y'all up. I took up enough of y'all time. But please, please, let's not support Banister Ford in any way, shape, fashion, or form. And I have more stories to come, in a week. I got more stories to come. I'm just focusing little bit by little bit because I don't want to give you all too much too soon. But something to think about. And hopefully, if y'all with me, we can run these fuckers out of town. And the cockroaches out of there. And possibly the management. The only manager over there, honestly, that's probably knows his shit. It's got to be the service manager. He's about the only one that, knows the stuff. And sometimes I'm sure he gets the bad end of the stick because he's trying to fix a fuck up that he didn't create, and he's trying to clean that imagery up over there, at least in the service department. But that dude is good, but he's not the one working on the cars. He's just a service manager. Now, if he gets wind of your situation, he'll try to fix it and resolve it. But I'm just saying, with what I told you about the texts the two texts I saw, one high off of heroin, the other one smoking weed, you don't want to do it. And then one of the service advisors took a car, totaled it, when they crashed it and went on the run. The car belonged to another customer. So look, avoid all of these problems. Take your vehicle if you're going to get service somewhere else. If you need to buy parts, call around. And a lot of times, trust me, you don't need to get an original equipment part. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting brakes, unless they're giving you a great deal on a set of brake pads, go to AutoZone Advance, whatever, CarQuest. Get the gold line, the top of the line. They're usually probably going to be the same price as the dealer, if not cheaper. And you ain't got to put up with that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Some things you might have to go to the dealer for, and pay that price. You might pay that price for it. But all the time, you don't need to go to the dealer to buy the parts. It's nice if you can get original equipment parts and you don't have to deal with the nonsense from behind the counter with the Puerto Rican cockroach over there. But yeah, man. I got more stories coming, but please don't patronize Banister Ford. I got enough friends and connections on here, and I know all y'all don't drive a Ford, but spread the word. This ain't what's supposed to happen. And you got these folks in Marlow Heights servicing us in our community. At least they can do is have somebody that's, if they're going to be servicing the community, treat the community like the community should be treated. Don't have an attitude when they come in, even if the customer don't know how the system goes. Like they're supposed to bring the VIN number or what. Don't get mad. Let them know. Hell, get your lazy ass up from behind the seat and go out to the vehicle and take your phone and snap the picture or write the 8 digits down from the VIN number and bring it in and get in the computer. Boom, boom, boom. All right, y'all be peace. Y'all be peace out. And please don't patronize Banister Ford. If they treat employees like shit, it's no wonder they're going to treat the customers like shit. Because you got a bunch of you got a bunch of idiots with no class, no professionalism, and no management skills trying to be in charge. The fucking cockroach. I'm out.